If you could just survive long enough to start getting some of those Social Security checks, self-generated Social Security checks, legally, then you're able to actually live the life that Aunt Mabel was living. So you think about, aha, there's a way that we can make this work. Now, the solution is... that we're going to learn the magic of trust. Now, I love Albert Einstein's quote, "Intellectuals solve problems, geniuses prevent them." Is that a beautiful quote?
Yeah.
Geniuses prevent the problem before it occurs.
Yeah.
And just think about that. So, I'm going to welcome you tonight to become a genius, because we're going to prevent the problem now before it occurs. We're going to get you out of the line of fire. Now, one thing you're going to find out about my friend called trust is that trusts provide many benefits that you cannot get from an LLC, a corporation, or a limited partnership. How many of you like that? So there's an opportunity to get other benefits that don't exist in other entities. Now think about combining what I teach you tonight with the entities you already have. You now get the power and the benefits of those entities plus something on top, icing on the cake. The way I look at it is, let's say that you're driving down the highway, minding your own business, you're in your brand new Beamer, life is good, and all of a sudden there's a traffic mishap. You run into a guy in a 77 estate wagon with 9 ladders strapped to his roof. Can he sue?
Yeah.
Can he sue?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can he win?
Possible.
What can he win?
Possible.
What can he win?
Whatever you have.
Everything in your name, right? Everything in your name. Aha. Now let's contrast this. You're driving down the highway, minding your own business in your brand new Beamer, and all of a sudden there's a traffic mishap. A guy in a 77 estate wagon with 9 ladders strapped to his roof runs into you. Can you sue?
No.
Can you sue?
Yes.
Yes, you can sue. Can you win? Yes. What are you going to win? Ladders! I rest my case, Your Honor. Think about it. People with nothing to lose have nothing to lose. People with something to lose have everything to lose in this country. Now we have to think about that. Aha. So how is it that I can be in a position to not lose? How can I be in a position to win? That's what I'm teaching you. You'll leave here tonight with exactly the way that you can put yourself in a position to be broke. Absolutely broke. Somebody types in your name on public record and nothing comes out. In fact, you're not even going to have a bank account in your name. Is that a cool thing?
Yeah.
What? What about you don't have your vehicles in your name? None of them. How about your real estate is not in your name? None of it. Not even the house you live in. None of it's in your name. How many of you like this so far? Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
But does it prevent you from getting money from bank?
Oh, no. No, we're going to teach you that too. You can borrow money. In fact, Tom, when we were coming over here today, I said, will you lend to people in trust? He said, absolutely. I said, yeah, baby.
Good.
I will help you put out a lot of money, baby, because that's a good thing. So, one of the great things about trusts is privacy of ownership. My friend, the trust allows you to transfer ownership of your real estate out of your name and into the name of the trust. Now, it gets even better because you get transactional privacy If you do 100 deals in the next year, no one is going to know unless you tell them. All of a sudden, privacy is a possibility in America. You transfer ownership to this wonderful thing called trust. And my favorite kind of trust, there's about 30 different kinds of trusts, but my favorite is a thing called land trusts. Because a land trust is different than these other trusts out there. Now, a land trust lets you do some things that the other trusts don't let you do. One of the things that a land trust lets you do is name it anything you choose. Let me ask a question. How many of you in here have a thing called a living trust? You have a living trust. Now let me ask you, is it your name, living trust, or your family name, living trust? Isn't that fascinating? Most of the attorneys set them up exactly that way because they're not thinking privacy, they're not thinking asset protection, they're thinking estate planning.
Yeah.
What if we can get privacy, asset protection, and estate planning all at the same time? Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. So this wonderful thing called a land trust allows you to deed out of your name into the name of the trust. Now let's think about how creative we can get with this. What if the name of your trust was the Sister Mary Frances Trust? Would that be a good thing?
Yeah.
Now, why would that be a good thing?
No one knows.
Privacy.
It's not you.
No one knows
That's
privacy. It's not you.
There's many names like that.
Who wants to sue the nuns? So you can throw people off the scent when they look up the name, the owner of the property. Isn't this how it happens? Mrs. Jones falls down the back staircase and goes to see her friendly attorney, who looks up, click, 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 the address of the property. Up pops the Sister Mary Frances Trust. Attorney says, I've got my whole career to think about here. I don't want to sue the nuns. How about the Native American Youth Trust? Nobody wants to mess with the Indians, right? It's all their stuff that got stolen from them in the first place, right? How about the children with special needs?
Wow. Yeah, really stretching.
Yeah.
How many of you have children? They all have special needs, don't they? So now we can create the opportunity to really be creative. Tonight, as you go to bed, my homework for you, make a list of trust names. We call it the trust hit list. Every time we buy a property, we just mark the next one off the list. And we buy it in that name. HUD will allow you to buy properties in trust. So every time we buy a HUD property, we just bid in that name. It's a beautiful thing. And we close in that name. So we've got transactional privacy. We've got privacy of ownership of the property. Now remember, there's about 30 different benefits of trust. I'm not going to have time to go over all of them today. I'm going to go over more of them on Saturday, and we're going to get into some more depth as we apply this. So where can I get that? It's a wonderful thing called land trusts and personal property trusts. Now let me tell you another thing that a land trust will do that a personal property trust, or excuse me, that a other type of trust can't do. All right. So let's say you deed your house or your houses into trust. What happens once it gets deeded to that trust, it magically transforms from real estate into personal property. How does it do that? Because the document itself says so. The document itself is what a trust is. A trust is nothing more than a contract. It's a contract between the trustee, the one who holds title to the property, and the beneficiary. And in that contract, it states that the trustee can do nothing until told to do so by the beneficiary. So in other words, the trustee's hands are essentially tied behind their back, and they can't do anything until told to do so. Is that wonderful?
Yeah.
So they just sit there in name only, essentially, holding title to the property. Now, meanwhile, back at the ranch, the trustee, that same person, is going to hire you as the manager of the property. In fact, there's a management agreement in here. So now you become the manager. Now, what do managers do?
Man.
They obey the owners, right? Whatever the owners say, I gotta do. Mrs. Jones, I hate putting you out on the street like this, but I'll lose my job. I'll lose my job if I don't do what I have to do according to the terms of the management agreement, which also allows you to go to court, do evictions, hire contractors, and all the other stuff that you would normally do. Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Aha. So what you're seeing here is you're going to be in a position of control without ownership. So the deed is actually going to be held by the trustee, but you'll have control over the trustee. You'll tell the trustee exactly what to do, exactly how to do it. So the combination of the two is a pretty powerful thing, because what can happen is when you deed the property out of your name into the trust name, now the trust owns it. And remember that what happened magically is it transformed into personal property interests. In other words, the trust owns the real estate, but you as beneficiary only have an interest in the avails and proceeds which may flow from the trust. So whatever money, whatever avails, whatever proceeds may flow from the trust, baby, the beneficiary gets it. Who wants to own real estate when you just get everything that comes from the real estate? Isn't that a better thing? Yes, sir.
Can a trust be sued and lose
Absolutely. A trust can be sued, and they can get a judgment against the trust, and they can get everything in the trust. Now let me introduce you to another concept.
That's where it stops.
That's where it stops, because we're going to press print and make another trust. And we're going to press print and make another trust. And we're going to press print and make another trust. And we're going to put each house in a separate trust. So if anybody ever sues the trust, the one trust, all they could ever get is that house that's in the trust. Oh, however, my friend, the personal property trust, already put a lien against the land trust. So when they got that, they had to pay off the lien from the other lender, the other trust. Is that a beautiful thing? That's called equity stripping. And you'll have complete control over doing this because you'll have all the documents to do it with. Is that a beautiful thing?
Well, we have
Now-
some regulation against all that too.
Oh, I'll teach you. I know all about that. In fact, California is one of only 7 states in the United States of America that actually has land trust statutes. All the other states are interpreted under the traditional trust statutes within their state, but California has specific statutes for land trust, making it even better in California. It's a good thing.
Baby.
Yeah, baby. Felix is my buddy. Felix has been following me for how long?
10 years.
10 years. Is that a good thing?
Good thing.
It's a good
Awesome.
thing.
I bought you a $97 short sale course. The best thing in my life.
Best thing in his life.
Right.
Yeah, baby.
That software called Huddle and Settlement Statement on a spreadsheet. I don't need no title company, no escrow agent.
Did you get paid?
Yeah,
In here?
of course. No.
It was the funniest thing. I was sitting in that cubby hole over there, getting ready, and Felix comes around the corner and he looks, "Oh my God! starts going into the thing, and how long he's owned it, and how much money he's made off of it, and all kinds of good stuff.
I
like
use that hardware settlement spreadsheet on a Excel. He made it, you know, on a Excel, and then I can calculate how much money I'll be making, you know, using that Excel spreadsheet on it's called the closing statement, hardware settlement statement. It's very convenient and easy. And I live and breathe on that spreadsheet because I look at how much money I'm gonna be making, you know, after the transaction. You know, it says things, so I don't need to like call the escrow officer or call title company. Can you fax me that statement?
Estimate.
Yeah, estimate. Can you? No, it's just right on the computer. Yeah, no, it's
Title
that's-
company has
Oh,
those
that's a
now.
cool thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Give him a hand. Yeah, baby.
$97,000.
I think it was a little more than that, but that's okay. That's good. All right, so,
Do we,
now here's the, yes, sir.
Title companies here giving us a little hard time with the, taking title on the land trust. You have to play with the game, with the name, to make it sound like a living, but yet it is a land trust, so.
Gotcha. Yeah,
They're
and
really not allowing us to do it here.
they're not allowing you to do it.
Right.
Well,
That's
I-
all the way.
I would doubt that, because I'll tell you that once you find somebody that wants to